Okay, there you go. You're live.
Hey everyone, this is Lisa Dunaway, and we're going to be speaking to the fabulous senior team leader, Kevin Ledger, today on sponsoring and rebuilding. I know this is a really big subject matter for a lot of you, and I thought maybe this interview would help you all feel more at ease that we are all in this together and that we are all in this rebuilding mode. So I'd like to take a second and welcome Kevin.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm glad to be here and glad to share with each one of you today.
Okay, everyone. Just wanted to ask Kevin a couple questions today, and let's get a little bit of background on Kevin so you all feel like you know his situation, and you'll see that he's kind of all, in the same boat as all of us. Kevin, when did you start your journey with Origami Owl?
Lisa, I started my journey with Origami Owl January 13th in 2014.
Okay, so you've been with the company for a little over a year. What is your why? Why Origami Owl? Why direct sales?
When I initially heard of the opportunity of Origami Owl, my why was that I'm actually my caretaker for my parents. My mother's had 3 strokes and was just diagnosed with fibromyalgia. My father had a triple bypass open heart surgery, and they were really having difficulties with meeting their every monthly bills, their medical expenses, especially those type of reoccurring bills. So I needed something to supplement my income in order to help them out financially to support all their medical needs and things that they needed. So I saw the opportunity and saw that it was a ground floor pretty much at that point. So I really knew that this was something that was a different type of direct sales company, but it really made sense, and I thought, you know what, I can do this, and I can make this happen, and I can earn that extra income that I need in order to support my parents. So I actually, with the time that I started, from January 13th in 2014 until September of 2014, I actually saved up all of my income with Origami Owl and purchased a brand new home for me and my mom and dad, so I can actually help take care of them, and we both live together in a new construction home that I built.
Wow, that is really awesome, and I'm sure your parents love that you can help them while not really having to go outside of your time to go into your personal time with them. Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Currently, how many designers are in your front line?
Currently, right now, Lisa, I have a total of 20 designers in my front line.
And how many did you have at your most?
Maximum on my front line, my total was 28 was my total.
So you have lost a few off of your front line. How many have you recruited in 2015?
So far this year, I've actually recruited a total of 5. I did 4 new designers in March, and I did also 1 in May.
That's awesome. Okay, I want to discuss next with you is rebuilding. What do you think rebuilding is, and are you currently in rebuild mode with your team?
I think this is a very important subject for all of us because, yes, I am in rebuilding mode with my team, and I think a lot of us are currently in that rebuilding mode. And I think that rebuilding is redesigning, reformatting, and restructuring. I think it's very important for us as leaders to sit back at this point and kind of regroup and restructure our teams and see where we need to be and how are we going to do that. You first have to come up with a plan of action, just like a map. If you're going to drive to a trip somewhere, you need a map to know where you're going. So you need to know and have a plan on how to rebuild your team. So basically, I've started to communicate with each team member and to find out where their personal businesses currently are and what's their why. Because a lot of designers, their why when they started 7 months ago is probably not the same that it is today. So I think it's really important to reach out to each one of your team members to find out exactly what their current is, their why is now, and also what plan of action that they're going to take in order to make that why come true. So I definitely think that a lot of us are in that rebuilding mode, and there's nothing wrong with it. At first, I kind of looked at it as I'm failing, and this is crazy. But when you kind of step back and look at it, it's not a failure. It's just a time to regenerate and regroup and come up with a different plan.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think with us being in rebuilding mode, this is a time when we can lay groundwork to build even a stronger foundation for our team. We know the ones that have stuck with us through, the system changes and everything that we've been through. Being a brand new company, still, I mean, we're 3 years young. We're not, a 10-year-old company. And even some 10, 20, 30-plus year companies have issues with websites and their system crashing and stuff. So these are not unusual mountains we've had to climb. It's just, I'm going to take a line from my son's baseball coach. When bad things happen to you, how you react to them is what character building exercises you're doing. So if you're not where you want to be with your team or with your Origami Owl business, right now is the perfect time to sit back and write a business plan. And when I say a business plan, sit down and say, okay, I want to have X amount of designers on my team. I want to make sure I have X amount jewelry bars each month, and I want to make sure I bring home X amount of money. Then that way you have a foundation of what you want, and then you're going to start building on how you're going to do it. And Kevin and I are going to discuss a little bit more on approaching people with the Origami Owl opportunity and some other problems that you all might be facing with sponsoring. So Kevin, when you are getting ready to talk to somebody about the Origami Owl opportunity, what's some of the tips and tricks for, let's say, in a jewelry bar setting?
In a jewelry bar setting, I think it's very important to always keep your ears open. A lot of us, we get so excited, and we want to tell them all about, for instance, the new MLB kits and the new summer line, and we're so excited, and we just get so caught up that we're not listening to people. And I think that's one of the major things that a lot of us forget as designers is when you're sitting there and you're talking to the hostess. I always sit down, and I, of course, arrive early to set up, and I kind of talk with her, see if she has outside orders and those type of things. But then I also ask her, can you please tell me tonight who's coming, and tell me a little bit about each one of them people. So that way I have a better understanding of who's coming, what they do for a living, do they have children, there's one in dance, one's in softball, so I already know the people that are coming, and I know a little bit about them. So when they walk through the door and they say, hey, I'm Jane, and I always greet everybody as they walk through the door. I'm like, Jane, it's so nice to meet you. How's the 2 kids? How's softball doing for so-and-so? And they're like, how did you know that? But I think building that relationship with your customers too, not only that, but while they're socializing, having some refreshments and little type of things, is to listen to the not conversations, but you kind of want to listen to what people are saying. Listen to, I really love this stuff, but I can't really afford it tonight. Things are really tight, with the kids and this stuff. Bing, that's clue number 1. Someone that says, I need some time away. I was kind of thinking of getting a part-time job, maybe at the mall or something. Bang, another hint. Listening to things like that. At my jewelry bars, I take a few moments to play a fun little game. And where I say, you guys, it's now an opportunity to get to know what I do as a Origami Owl designer. So what I have is fake $100 bills, and what I do is I actually ask me a question gets one a $100 bill. Um, Once the session is over, whoever gets the most hundreds actually wins a free charm. And gauge each person in how many questions and what they're asking. And when I do their orders, which is separated from everyone else, I never close out orders in a group. So I can have that one-on-one conversation. I say, so, you know what? Say, Lisa, you asked some really good questions tonight, and you actually won. So you had, I think, 6 questions. Have you ever thought of doing what I do? You've seen what I did here tonight. It's very simple. We had fun. It took approximately about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I made great money. So have you ever thought about doing this? And that's when you always bring the opportunity brochures. I always have at least 2 stacks of opportunity brochures with me. You don't want to just hand them out to maybe one person or 2 people, but always point out positives on each guest that walks up with their order forms, and you say the same thing. You ask some really great questions. Have you ever thought about doing this? Never prejudge anybody that's sitting at that show, because you never know what their financial situation is, and they could be your next rock star.
You brought up some really good points. We definitely can't judge books by the cover in our business, because I know that some of the people that have turned into either my best customers or some of my best designers, if I would have prejudged them based on what I thought they had time to do or what they would like, I would not be where I'm at. So you really do have to take the prejudging out. That's a really great game that you're doing at your Joy Bars. I think that's a good way to get your guests engaged in wanting to know more about Origami Owl and asking questions. Let me ask you, how do you approach a stranger with the Origami Owl opportunity?
I actually did one today, by the way. It was kind of funny on my lunch break. Because someone had mentioned, it was actually at the gas station. One of the ladies had liked my locket that I was wearing. She said, I really like your locket. And I said, oh. I said, have you ever heard about Origami Owl? And she said, no, I haven't. And I was like, oh, well, hold on a second. I always carry my stuff on me. I always do. So I had a Tom with me, and I showed her my locket, and I was explaining the process to her. And I told her that asked her that I was looking to build some team members here in Jacksonville, because there are so many people here in Jacksonville that have never even heard of Origami Owl and never even seen a locket before. So I told her I'm looking to build, my team here in Jacksonville, and would she be interested in earning an extra $400 a month? And she was like, yeah, that would be awesome. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I would love to do an interview with you. If you have time, if I could get your phone number, what I'd like to do is follow up with you in about 24 to 48 hours. And then I would love to set up an interview, maybe at Panera or maybe at Starbucks for a cup of coffee. Would you be willing to do that? She said, absolutely. And I said, okay, great. So I got out my phone, took my phone number, I gave her a Tom, I gave her an opportunity brochure, and I told her I'll be in touch with her within 24 to 48 hours, and we're going to set up an interview time.
That's amazing, Kevin. I like how you make sure you get their contact information. That's a big step in follow-up with either a new customer, a new potential hostess, or especially when you have a potential designer that might be interested in joining your team. You really have to go with the follow-through, because that's where, it's make or break it time. You mentioned that you do an interview with your potential designers. Can you give us a couple of questions that you go over with those potential designers?
Lisa, I think that's so important. And when I started, I'll tell you, of course, I didn't do that, because when we're new, and sometimes I think a lot of designers also forget, is that we just don't want to sponsor someone because they're breathing. I think that, sometimes and I was in that mode too when I first started. I was just like, you want to sign up? Sure, let's sign you up right now. So what I've converted to at this point is, this is a business, so why are we not treating this like a business? So what I would do is meet with them, and I would ask, a couple of questions. Some of the questions I would ask them would be, why are you interested in Origami Owl, and what interested you in this opportunity? What seems most appealing to you? What motivates you? if you were to earn $400 extra a month, what would you do with that $400 and how would you benefit from that? I always ask them if they have direct sales experience. If they don't, I say that's okay, because we have a great training program and we'll train you every step of the way. Some of the other questions I may, ask them is, do you have a vehicle, and those type of things. Even though that seems a silly question, there are some designers that don't have transportation. That's very difficult in order to do jewelry bars if they don't, or they may have someone or a friend that they, could bring them. One of the major questions you want to ask is, what is your social circle? How many people do you know? If I gave you a piece of paper and a pen right now and asked you to write down every single person that you knew, how many names could you come up with? Because I think that's very important to build and actually know their social circle, because a lot of people, I had one at my jewelry bar that just moved here, and she didn't know anybody. She just moved here. She's like, I literally don't know anybody. And I think that's very important too, because when we start a new designer, we don't want to start them out for failure and not to be successful. And if they don't know anybody, you know what? They can get out there and they can market and they can do things and make things happen, but you always want to make sure that they have a good support system. And that's very, very important in order to have them have a successful start, I believe.
Oh, I couldn't agree more with you. The Alice form is really great, especially when you're talking with your new designers, because that Alice form makes you think outside of the box. You may say, oh, I know Susie down the street and my mom and my cousin, but the Alice form makes you think outside of that. Think of your husband's co-workers, wives that might be interested in it. Think of the people that you go to church with. Think of the moms that you sit down next to at your son's or daughter's certain sports events and such. I mean, we know more people than we think we do. I know I do. I know when I sit down and do my Alice form, and yes, even 3.5 years into this business, every 6 months, if not more, I sit down and redo my Alice form, and I always find there's somebody that I haven't spoken about Origami Owl to, whether that it is as the opportunity to join my team or to be a hostess or just to introduce Origami Owl to them. So the Alice form, I think, is really important, not only to new designers, but current designers, and especially those of us that are in rebuilding mode, which I think we all are across the board, and we all should be. In all honesty, with direct sales, there is a cycle. Not everybody's going to stick around. People come into this business for different reasons, and they might leave this business for different reasons. Their life might have changed from what it was when they started, and they might not have the time to devote to a business at this time, whatever their journey is taking them on. So we as mentors and as leaders have to continually to grow our business. We have to continue to feed our front line and not just always look to keep our downline going down. We have to keep it going wide, just as far as we want it to go down, to find success in Origami Owl and in direct sales in general. Kevin, I know a lot of people want to know, how do you handle the no, whether it's from a prospective new designer or a potential hostess?
First of all, I will say we all get the no's. I'm actually thankful for the no's sometimes, because I know that there's a yes around the corner. What I do is, as far as no's from either a potential hostess, or a designer, is you have to learn to overcome objections. You really have to sit down and ask some of the questions. For instance, I asked the first question. I say, well, for instance, a hostess. Why don't we go ahead to what day works best for you? And she says Friday. Let's do Friday the 12th. Oh, no, that really doesn't work for me. Okay, well, what would be the reason why it doesn't work, for you? Well, I have, my house is too small. Okay, well, what about if we did like a little get-together at Panera or something with your friends, and I bring my mobile jewelry bar, and, we have some muffins, and we just sit down and do it that way? No, I'm not really sure. I always learn that the first objection out of someone's mouth is not the real reason why. It's normally the second, or towards more the third, is the actual true reason. So if we try to overcome their objections to really find out what is the real reason why, she doesn't want to, host this jewelry bar, or they don't want to get started. And I think that's really important, is to find out the real why. But I always ask them after each objection I try to overcome, if I can overcome this objection, would you be willing to do it? Will you still host your jewelry bar? And then take it from there. Not everyone's going to be a yes, and not every no is going to turn into a yes. But at least if you've tried, what I think is really important is no doesn't mean never. Some people just say no, they get mad, they walk away, and are like, and they just forget about it. But I always follow up with the people, and I ask them, okay, you know what? I know you have a lot going on right now. Right now, I have a lot of people in hostess with graduations going on, and this one's got this going on, and this. I completely understand. But I always ask them, what would be a good time for me to contact you at a future date so we can go ahead and set this up? That is very important, because you're letting them know that you're not just going to brush them off and you're just going to forget about them. You really want them to be that hostess, and you really want them to be your new designer. So timing is everything, and if it's not right now, maybe it'll be sometime in the future. And I think if you ask for a time to follow up and adhere to that and make sure that you follow up, then you'll be successful, and I think that you'll gain that yes.
I agree, and I will admit, follow-up is one of my hardest things. I know we're all busy. We all have, a lot of us have kids, and they have their schedules, and I know that is an excuse, and we've all got to stop making our excuses. I've gotten in a habit now, and God, if I lost my phone, I don't know what I would do, because my phone has my schedule almost down to the minute on it. It tells me where I need to be, when I need to be there, and it tells me who I need to call and when I need to call them, and I put the phone number right in when I put the reminder on my phone. I'm not really good with keeping up with a planner. I'm much better with my phone, because I don't go anywhere without my phone. My phone is with me, I feel like, 24/7, and sometimes I do try to escape from it. But as long as I have my schedule on here, I know that I need to call Susie Q, my great customer from 2 weeks ago that mentioned that she might want to join my Origami Owl team. I told her that we would chat in 2 weeks when she got back from vacation, and I told her we'd chat at 6 o'clock on Tuesday night. So guess what? My phone bings at 5:45 and lets me know I better get my fanny on the phone with Miss Susie Q, or I might miss my opportunity to gain a wonderful new designer, and she might go to another designer because I didn't do the follow-up. You want to make those people feel so special and that you really care about them, and the way to do that is to do the follow-up. Now, we're going to talk about something a little bit different, because I know not everybody has a moo, and if you're not familiar with what a moo is Men of Origami Owl, and that's what Kevin is. He's a Man of Origami Owl, and I feel like Kevin probably has some more challenges than we do in this predominantly female industry. Kevin, could you go over a couple of your challenges and how you rise above them?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I get this question quite frequently. I will say that actually one of the challenges that I do not have is that I cannot wear and advertise as much as everyone else, females can. I'm very limited as to what I wear. I do wear a locket every day, and I do have my leather wrap with my plaque on there that I actually wear every day. But what I will do is, at all times in my car, every single day, I'll open up my trunk and take a picture for you. I have every single thing from Sophia's to Clara's to link locket bracelets to chains to charms to everything. So if I do talk to someone out and about, I make sure that I have those on me. The one time I went into Pier 1 and actually booked a jewelry bar and actually sponsored the hostess after that, I went in there with a link locket bracelet in one pocket, and then a locket that I designed in another pocket that had the crystal faces and all that stuff. So I always will go prepared, but I think that's one of my disadvantages, because if I could wear all of the products, I would wear them every day, from the lockets to the earrings to the core to the link. I mean, everything. I would be decked out every single day if I could, but I'd look kind of funny, so I can't. So That's what I do. I make myself prepared and make sure that I have items with me at all times, just in case they don't want to see my black vase and black Swarovski crystal face and my leather cord locket. And they may be interested in something in rose gold. Well, guess what? Give me 1 second. I'll go to my trunk real quick. I'm going to grab it for you.
That's a great point, and that's, I do that too. I keep a mobile jewelry bar in my car at all times. It actually gets buckled in my front seat if nobody else is in the car with me. That way, at any given time, if I meet somebody or I'm chatting with somebody and they're asking me about my locket, I can just wham, pull that baby out and show them what I have in there. And no, I don't keep everything in it, but I keep a good selection. One rose gold locket, one gold locket, one black locket, one silver locket. I keep an enamel face in there. I keep a plain face, the prism face. I keep a couple of chains, at different lengths, the 16 to 18 inch or 18 to 20 and 24 to 26. And that way they can see kind of where it would fall on them and give them an idea of what chain that they would want. And a good selection of charms. I don't keep them all in there. There's no way I could keep all of that in my mobile jewelry bar, but it does help. And I have gotten those orders just randomly while I've been out and about at a Starbucks or a Panera. And it's like you said, these are our tools of our trade. We have to keep our takeout menus with us. We have to keep opportunity folders with us. And brand these, y'all. I make sure that my takeout menus, I can spot my takeout menu. If you were to throw 100 of different designers' takeout menus on a table, I can spot mine out because of the way I make sure I strategically place my stickers on the front. I do a couple of stickers. I have stickers on the front that say, I'm trying to find one of my books right here. One of my stickers says, too busy to book a show, then show a book. Host a takeout jewelry bar. Ask me how. Another sticker. Look inside, and when you love what you see, gather for orders and get some more for free. Contact me for more details. I also make sure I brand my takeout menu label that I put on the back. I have my picture on it. I feel like if my picture's on there, the people aren't going to throw away my face as easy. They might throw away a takeout menu if it just had my name on there. But this way, they might see my face and go, oh, yeah, I remember talking to that crazy lady in the Walmart that wouldn't let me go. Ha, ha, ha. I mean, these are just little things that you can do to try to brand yourself and get your name out there and make it stick with people so you become their go-to for Origami Owl. One more question I have for you. What are your plans as far as growing your team and your personal business for the rest of the year?
Lisa, my actual plan is, well, actually, we talked about rebuilding, and I actually achieved my first of working actually with my leading designer, Janine. So I definitely want to give a shout out to her. Janine actually, within a matter of about 2.5 weeks, I spoke to her on the phone. She called me and she was like, Kevin, I kind of need to know. I need some help. What do I do? I've got to get my business up and going, and after the holidays and such. So, we had a little talk. I advised her, gave her some training, told her exactly what to do. Janine took it and ran with it. And she, within a matter of like 2.5 weeks, sponsored 4 new designers, just promoted out to team leader as of yesterday. She really, she booked, I think she has like 4 or 5 jewelry bars booked so far in June. She is just on fire. And it really made me very, very happy because of her accomplishments and what she has done. But by just taking, the instructions that I had told her, and it's not rocket science, but I just kind of guided her along the way, and she would ask me questions. Okay, well, what do I do about this and stuff? But she ran with it, and I'm so proud of her and her 5. She has 5 girls on her team as a team leader, and I think that she's just doing an amazing job, and I'm so proud of her and all her girls on the team for pulling it together, and they got it done they locked it down in less than, it was about 3 weeks that we got it done. But so I'm really proud of that. But I will say my personal challenges as far as the rest of 2015 is I really plan on sponsoring at least 14 plus more new personal designers to my team. I do want to promote out at least 3 more leaders, and I want to achieve directorship by the end of 2015. That is my goal.
That's amazing, and it is amazing. Janine has done a fantastic job. I've been watching her, and we've talked daily about it too. And she has done amazing. And I think you bring up a really good point. I think talking to your front line, and even sometimes talking to your second line. I talk to whoever wants to talk to me about their business. I'm happy to help anybody, and I think that's what's helped my team stay as focused and as driven as all of y'all are that are on Team Hootylicious. I think if we show as mentors what we want for our team by doing it ourselves, I will never tell, and I know Heather's the same way, and all the other fantastic directors that are part of Summit Academy. We all walk the walk and we all talk the talk. We're never going to tell you to do something that we haven't done or are willing to do to grow our business, to grow our team. So just know that what we tell you all to do is things that we do. I really want to make that important to you. And last of all, we're going to talk to Kevin about any tips and tricks that he could share about planting seeds for your business, whether it's for team growing, hostess prospects, or new customers. I know Kevin posted it on the Summit STL's page, and I know he's posted it on my team page. And I'm not sure if he posted it on Rockin' Lockets or not, but Kevin is doing basically a really cute summer what should I say?
Bucket.
He's doing a really
Bucket
summer program with sand buckets and going into offices and such to plant seeds for his business. So I'm going to let Kevin explain that. It's a really great program, and I think he's getting some really great results from it.
Okay. Yes. I actually was sitting there and thinking about it, and there are so many businesses. I do work full time, by the way, everybody, for the corporate world. And so I see it all the time with people that come in, and they always come in and they try to, advertise, what they're selling or their business, and they want a part of it and stuff. And I just thought to myself, we do this on a weekly basis, so why should we not be doing this with our Origami Owl business? There is no reason why. I will say, and I call it outside marketing and marketing yourself, but you've got to step out of your comfort zone. And I put this on I did not put it on Rockin' Lockets. I put it on the Summit STL, and I put it on Hootie, and I think everyone pretty much loved it so far. But it's a way for your team and yourself to actually get out there and step out of your comfort zone. And I told all my team to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is the only way that you're actually going to succeed in this business. And some people are not, okay with that, but you have to do it in order to be successful. But stagnation is not going to help you grow at all. You can't be stagnant. And if you're stagnant, and if what you're doing right now is not working, it's time to change it. So by doing this bucket challenge, you basically you can go to the dollar store, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Park City, and actually get I thought the sand buckets, the sandcastle buckets, were really cute to match our little sandcastle charms that we're getting. So I chose those with the little shovel in them. And what you wanted items to put in there that are going to be really important, and what you want to do is a letter of introduction. I think that's a really good thing that you should put in there to introduce yourself. My name is Kevin Ledger, and I'm with Origami Owl, and to make sure that it tells a little bit about your story, and gives them an idea of who you are. I also put some cutesy type little summer fun things in there, like saltwater taffy, some mini chocolates, a little bottle of SPF. Just to kind of go around our whole summer theme, because we're really excited about our new summer launch. And then I also put MLB wrap cards in there. I would put summer Toms in there, the opportunity brochure, and our new host exclusive flyer. I would take mine actually will be all taken up and cellophane wrapped, and put a bow on top of there, so it really looks like a really nice present. You don't have to do that. It's just something a little extra. When you go into the businesses to bring them in, and say your local doctor's office or some of your corporate business centers that are in there that have like 20 or 30 different officers, whether it's counseling or psychiatrist office or wherever, dental offices, and target your professional places. You can't go into Target and try to do it. Target has a no soliciting policy, so they will kick you out in a heartbeat. So you want to target your places that are going to allow you to just share your business. So once you walk in with the lady is going to ask you, or the gentleman there, say, can I help you? Say, yes, I actually have a special delivery. And say, oh, for who? Actually, it's for you. And they kind of look at you weird. Really, for me? Then you approach them with the basket, and you just kind of introduce yourself. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Kevin Ledger. I'm with Origami Owl. I'm so excited because we are actually having a new summer line that's approaching on June 1st, and I would really love to get your feedback on some of the information I have here. And I've also, what was your name again? You get her name. All right. Oh, Lisa, great. Well, Lisa, you know what? I put some chocolates in here also, so in case you want a chocolate. There's some in there. There's some other saltwater taffy treats in there, and I also put some SPF for when you go to the beach. If you forget yours, just throw that in your purse real quick, and you're there. You got that. So if I could get your phone number, I would love to get your opinion on our new summer line, and that's what pretty much I do. Get the phone number, and then I would thank her for allowing me to come in, and hope she has a good day. Get the phone number, and then I would follow up with her within 24 hours. If we get into a really in-depth conversation, then I would go into the part of booking her and booking her own jewelry bar. If she's familiar with Origami Owl, first you want to ask do you have a designer? If she says no, I just kind of bought one offline, perfect. Go in there. You know what, Lisa? I would really love to get together with some of your friends. What night kind of works best for you? What's your schedule look like? I like Friday nights, maybe a Friday night. Great. Why don't we go ahead and book Friday? I have my calendar right here. I have, Friday the 29th available. Would that work for you? Sure. Okay, great. And then you give her a hostess packet, boom, right there. You can actually put a hostess brochure in there that's already inside the bucket if you'd like to. You don't want to overload it too much, but you don't want to have too little information. So I would always bring those with me and then hand them out. But it's a great way for you to multi-market yourself and get out there. And if you can at least just think, if you go 10 places in 1 week, which will take you approximately, maybe an hour, less than an hour, I would say. 10 different places each week times 4, that's 40 contacts and 40 numbers that you're going to be able to get within 1 month that you're going to follow up. So just think of how many jewelry bars you can book with 40 people, and think of how many new sponsors you can get from 40 people. So I think it's a great way to get out there and really step out of the comfort zone and just celebrate the summer line and get their opinions and just approach it from that standpoint. Because some people get so scared, like, I don't know what I'm going to say. What am I going to do? What if she says no? What if she kicks me out? Don't worry about that. Step out there, be friendly, put on a smile, and tell them it's for them. And just go over the information and get their information. There is nothing wrong with that. I think it's a great way to expand your business and to get your business out there, especially if we're stagnant right now. If you're looking at your calendar and you've got only one jewelry bar for the month of June, get out there, get your buckets out there, advertise yourself, and you'll be surprised and you'll be very amazed at the results.
I couldn't agree with you more, Kevin. It really is about getting yourself out there, getting 50 shades of uncomfortable. I know when I first started, and a lot of people that know me now are probably like, there's just no way. I used to be timid and shy. I mean, you would get to know the real me after I met you, and then you could see that I was kind of crazy and always out there. But first time meeting somebody, I was so tongue-tied and twisted and had no confidence in myself. And now, you know what? I just figure, worst comes to worst, they're just going to think I'm the crazy owl lady. And if that's the worst thing that I'm known for in this world, I'll take it. So I think everybody should try to go out and get a couple of buckets. Let's put this out as a challenge to everybody. Go get a couple of buckets. Go get you some saltwater taffy. Go get you some chocolate, because we all know every woman loves chocolate. Put those takeout menus in there, the summer supplement and the MLB rack cards, and heck, put an opportunity in there too. And let's just see what happens. What's the worst thing that can happen? It's like Kevin said, they could tell you, no, get out. Okay, well, thank you. Have a great day. And you go on, lick your wounds, and go into another office. I think you will find that once you do this, after the first time, each one is going to get easier and easier and easier. And the next thing you know, you'll be giving out those 10 buckets a week with no problem, and you will have a host of new customers, potential hostesses, and potential teammates. I want to take a moment to thank Kevin for sharing his knowledge with us and for giving us some tips and tricks to help us with sponsoring and rebuilding. We're going to post this on all the Summit Academies, and I really hope that this really helps everybody and helps everybody realize that we're all in this together. We're all in the same place in this business. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your director in your Summit Academy. And I look forward to hearing about everybody's success with this training. Have a great day. God bless.